Advent is a gift, an invitation. And what matters is that you have been invited. This is Monday, week 1 of the season of Advent.
Today our Advent reading is the Word made flesh. John 1:14 says, "And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us." In this reading by St. Augustine, he says the Word was made flesh so that the wisdom of God could come within the reach of human beings. For his Word, the expression of the whole truth about God, is far beyond our comprehension. No creature can ever fully understand his Creator. But the Word, the Son of God, put on a humble human form so that infinite truth could be seen in finite terms. He humbled himself, coming down to the lowest human level. Those who will join him there, denying themselves, taking the low place, will be raised up with him to the heights of heaven. It is not easy for man to stoop so low, or to abandon his self-confidence. But when he sees the divine Son lying, as it were, at his feet, wrapped in the clothes of human poverty, then his heart may be moved and his pride cured. And when we grow weary of trying to prove ourselves, we may be ready to cast ourselves upon him. When we do, he who came down to where we are raises us to where he is.
Our scripture reading for today is from the book of Isaiah, chapter 2, verses 1 through 5 in the Message translation. The message Isaiah got regarding Judah and Jerusalem. There's a day coming when the mountain of God's house will be the mountain, solid, towering over all mountains. All nations will river toward it. People from all over set out for it. They'll say, "Come, let's climb God's mountain. Go to the house of the God of Jacob. He'll show us the way he works so we can live the way we're made." Zion's the source of the revelation. God's message comes from Jerusalem. He'll settle things fairly between nations. He'll make things right between many peoples. They'll turn their swords into shovels, their spears into hoes. No more will nation fight nation. They won't play war anymore. Come, family of Jacob, let's live in the light of God. Here's today's question for you to meditate on throughout your day. In what way might God remember the oppressed through you during this Advent season? I read that question and my first thought was, who are the oppressed? In our world right now, as we're recording this, I can only think of COVID. We have friends, we have family that have been impacted by that. Fortunately, Carol and I have not. And I say to myself, what can I do? I'm being told to stay away. I'm being told to isolate and make sure that I keep myself safe. All that I have left to do for the oppressed is pray, which is more powerful than I realize at times. George MacDonald, Christian writer, says, "Why should the good of anyone depend on the prayer of another?" I can only answer with the return question, why should my love be powerless to help another? It helps me to think of prayer as loving someone else. I think that that's how I will work at being used by God to help the oppressed during this Advent season. Carol?
Well, when I was thinking about who are the oppressed in my community, and there are a lot of people working in our community that this has been very difficult for them. The people who work in the stores, the people who work in the hospitals, healthcare workers, EMTs, first responders, people, teachers. You know, Paul and I worked in the school for many, many years, and we know things are a lot different right now. And so I think one way that I can help with that is be an encourager. Tell them thank you. Tell them how much we appreciate the job they're doing. When you go to the store, thank the workers at the store for what they're doing. Give them a smile. A smile goes a long ways when you're going through the line, especially during this time when sometimes lines can be very long and tempers can be very short, and I think a smile and a thank you and just appreciation of all those people in our community who are working so hard to keep us safe during this time, and we just need to let them know. We need to let them know how much they are appreciated in our community.
Remember, feel free to share your thoughts on the question of the day in the comment section down below. Thank you for joining us again today. We hope that you can join us tomorrow. God bless.